Ronaldo's final World Cup, what it really teaches you about reaching the top and knowing when to let go. And I'm not really talking about football, I'm talking about the exact same decision every one of you will face at some point in your career, your business, or your life, whether you like it or not. A 41-year-old man, arguably the most driven athlete of his generation, walked off a World Cup pitch for the final time without the one trophy he wanted most. And the way he handled that exit is worth more to your financial life than half the investment videos on this platform. Give me 15 or 16 minutes. Here's where we're going today. What really happened in that round of 16 match and why the way it ended matters more than the score itself. The uncomfortable truth about reaching the top and why almost nobody handles it well. The specific thing Ronaldo did in the mixed zone immediately after the defeat that most people completely fail to do. And exactly how you can apply that lesson to your money, your career, and your business starting this year. Stay until the end, because I'm going to ask you a question and I genuinely want your opinion in the comments. Let's begin. Section 1. What happened all right? A quick recap for anyone who missed it. Portugal, round of 16, against Spain. A tight, cautious match that could have gone either way. Then, deep into extra time, a Spanish substitute put the ball into the net. 1-0, Portugal were eliminated. And with that final whistle, Ronaldo's World Cup career, the entire journey came to an end. 6 tournaments, 27 matches, the all-time men's international record for both goals and appearances. Goals in 6 consecutive World Cups, something no one had ever achieved before, and yet no World Cup title, not one. The biggest prize in the sport, the one thing that never came home with him. Now I want you to pause on that for a moment because most people hear this story and think, what a shame. He came so close, he had so many chances. But I've watched too many careers over 25 years in sports, business, and investing. And I'm telling you, this isn't a tragedy, this is one of the most normal stories in the world. And today, I want to show you why. Section 2. The uncomfortable truth about reaching the top. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear, and I mean nobody. Almost every person who reaches the top of any field eventually runs into a moment where the ending doesn't match the script they wrote in their own head. Think about it. You spend 20 years building a business, and maybe you never get the exit you dreamed about. You climb a career ladder for decades, and the final promotion goes to someone else. You spend years investing toward a specific number, and the market has different plans during the exact year you need it to cooperate. That isn't rare. It's the standard outcome for ambitious people. The story where everything lines up perfectly at the very end. That's what's rare. That's the exception, not the rule. And here's the part that really strikes me. Ronaldo didn't lack talent. He didn't lack discipline. At 41 years old, he was still out there competing against players half his age. He still scored 3 goals in this tournament, 6 World Cups, goals in every single one. That isn't decline. That's one of the most remarkable extended peaks in the history of sports. And yet, it still didn't end with the trophy. Sometimes the peak is real, and the outcome still isn't the one you wanted. Both things can be true at the same time. And that's exactly the part most people struggle to accept. Section 3. Why people handle this so poorly. So why do most people handle this moment so badly when it finally arrives? Because we tie our entire identity to the outcome instead of the effort. And when the outcome doesn't arrive on schedule, our identity cracks. I've seen business owners spend 15 years building something real, only to speak as if those 15 years meant nothing because they didn't get the valuation they wanted. I've seen investors do almost everything right for a decade, then let one bad year convince them they never knew what they were doing in the first place. That's backward thinking, and it's expensive thinking, because it pushes you towards something dangerous. Either you walk away at exactly the moment you're still valuable, or you chase the missing ending so aggressively that you damage everything you've already built trying to force an outcome that was never guaranteed. Section 4. What Ronaldo actually did. The real lesson. Now here's the part I really want you to copy. Not the trophy, the response. In the minutes immediately after that defeat, visibly emotional, with tears and everything, Ronaldo didn't disappear. He didn't blame the referee. He didn't blame his teammates. He stood there and gave credit to what he had accomplished, the championships he had won with his country, the role he had played in changing it forever. He acknowledged the ending honestly. He called it sad, he called it disappointing, and almost in the same breath, he said, That's football. That's a player's life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and you move forward. Then, wisely, he said he wasn't going to make major decisions about his future in the heat of the moment. First, he would spend time with his family. Then, with a clear head, he would think, right there is a masterclass. And most people watching that moment didn't even realize they were witnessing it. He separated emotion from decision-making. He allowed himself to fully feel the loss without pretending to be stronger than he actually felt. And at exactly the same time, he refused to let that raw emotional moment make a permanent decision about his future. That is an incredibly rare skill, and it's exactly what separates people who recover well from setbacks from those who spiral because of them. Section 5. Applying it to money and business. Now let's bring this directly into your world, because if this lesson stays on a football field, it's wasted. How many of you have made your biggest financial decision during your most emotional week? You sold an investment at the bottom because one bad month felt unbearable. You quit a business immediately after its hardest quarter, instead of after a calm evaluation. You doubled down on a losing position purely out of stubbornness. Trying to force a comeback, the actual numbers no longer supported. I've made every version of those mistakes myself earlier in my career, so trust me. I'm not preaching from some untouched mountain here. The lesson from that mixed zone interview is simple, and it's immediately practical. Feel the setback completely. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. That's not strength. That's denial wearing a costume, but separate the feeling from the decision. Give yourself 24 hours, a week, whatever it takes. Over 25 years of watching people make decisions, almost every truly terrible financial decision I've seen was made within 48 hours of an emotional low. Section 6. Reaching the top doesn't mean you're finished. There's another lesson here that I honestly think people underestimate. Reaching the highest point, even without ending with the trophy, doesn't mean you're finished contributing. Ronaldo didn't leave that tournament as a faded shadow of himself. He left as a player opposing teams still built entire defensive game plans around. There is a version of aging beyond your peak that looks like decline, and there's another version that looks like this, still dangerous, still respected, still feared, simply operating in a different stage of a very long, very successful journey. That distinction matters for you too. Businesses experience this, careers experience this. You reach a peak, growth starts to level off, and it's incredibly easy to confuse. This chapter has reached its natural ceiling with "I'm finished, I have nothing left to offer." Those are two completely different situations. Confusing them is one of the most expensive mistakes I've ever seen people make in both business and personal finance. Section 7. The missing trophy isn't the whole story. And here's the final piece. I think it's the most important one. If you measure Ronaldo's international career only by the one trophy he never won, you'd call it a story of almosts, but that's an incredibly narrow way to measure a 20-year journey that includes multiple major international championships, the all-time men's international scoring record, and a level of consistency across 6 World Cups that nobody else in football history has matched. This is exactly the trap, measuring an entire body of work by one specific outcome that never happened. That's exactly how people destroy their own confidence after an otherwise remarkable chapter of life. You had a fantastic decade of investing, but you missed the one trade everyone talks about at dinner parties, so you call yourself a failure. You built a business that fed your family for 15 years, but it never became the next unicorn, so you call it a waste. That's not honest accounting. That's allowing one missing line item to erase an entire balance sheet that was actually strong. Closing. Strong, warm, direct engagement. So here's the real scoreboard. Reaching the top rarely ends exactly the way you imagined it would, and that's normal, not tragic. The skill that really matters is separating your emotions from your next major decision. Reaching the ceiling in one chapter doesn't mean you've finished contributing in the next, and judging an entire life's work by one thing that never happened is one of the most self-destructive habits you can build. Now I have a question for you, and I genuinely want your honest answer in the comments. Have you ever made a major financial or career decision in the heat of an emotional moment, one you later regretted? Looking back, if you had waited the week Ronaldo talked about, what would you have done differently? I read every single comment, and I promise, you're definitely not alone in this. And one more question, just for fun. Ronaldo or Messi? Even if neither of them lifted this specific World Cup trophy this year, who do you think finishes with the greater overall World Cup legacy? Pick your side. Defend it in the comments. Let's have a real discussion. If this gave you a different way of looking at your own setbacks, subscribe, because that's exactly what we do here. We take the biggest moments happening in the world and turn them into real lessons about money, decision-making, and life. I'll see you in the next video. See you in the next